Yo everyone, this is Julie and today we're back with more Mage Wars. In this game I'm playing another mirror. This time it's Beastmaster versus Beastmaster and it's even Straywood versus Straywood. The book that I'm using is also been like twice on the channel already, I think. And I'm basically trying to go with a Falcon and a Croc. And I have some follow-up, some support spells, some curses, some attack spells. Very interesting for me here is that I have not played too many Beastmaster mirrors so far. So maybe I and also you can learn something from this game for future Beastmaster mirrors. So of course Red Dice also watching my videos and my games. He knows that I like to open with Falcon Pet and an enchantment. So he does the same and I call him copycat. No, I don't own any of these openings of course, so it's perfectly fine. But still, I think this is the first time that I see both players doing the exact same with the exact same mage in the first turn. Maybe, but to the point, so far when I have played mirrors with my Beastmaster against any other Beastmaster, Straywood or Yoghtari, they have pretty much always had a lair, so this gets then very different. Here, as I told you, this is my Croc book and I usually want to go with the Croc, but in this Beastmaster mirror where we both don't have a spawn point, I think it's very valuable to keep your creatures around. And for me, I think one major win condition is here who keeps his creatures out the most and who absorbs the most damage, who can regenerate the most damage. And Dorsis is just a beast because he's basically regen 4 in one creature. You always manage, pretty much always manage to have something else in his zone too. So this is why I deviated from the original plan. While I got Dorsis and Enchant, Red Dice only got a Grizz and nothing else, because you see it, he is right now at 10 mana. That means last round he went down to 1 mana, so nothing worth doing but a ritual, and I guess he doesn't want to do the ritual here. So with 1 mana there's ritual and the reveal magic you could do of course, but why would you? And the other spell that's possible is the potion where you can remove poison conditions. So yeah. So now for the next turn, I said I think it's valuable to get some regeneration effects going, and this is what I'm going to do. I get a Bimshella out and a Magebane going, because if regen is good for you, then passive damage on your opponent is the same. So basically this allows me to center on the creature fight, and I basically tell Red Dice with this, if you want to also do full support creature fight, then you will take a lot of damage, and you probably want to spend 1 action to get rid of this Magebane, while I can concentrate on the creature fight. And pretty much every round where you can spend 2 turns to support your creatures, where your opponent can only spend 1 action or spell to support his creatures, you should get a little advantage. So this is why I chose to go for the Magebane, and I thought the Bimshella was just generally useful. Like, I can get more damage when I need damage, and I can get more healing when I need more healing, etc, etc. Also, what the Bimshella does, it's a buff to your creatures, but you're not investing into creatures, so you don't lose the mana spent and the action when the creature dies. So you just can target another creature instead. So this is like buffing your creatures without investing too much into them, so you don't suffer too much when they die. This is also the reason why I'm running multiple joint strength here, because I think it's so strong. And the fact that you have to acknowledge that the joint strength pet or joint strength creature is a threat, because he rolls more it rolls more dice. but at the same time it's more survivable, and if you kill it at the right moment you can just transfer the enchantment, so the action, and you even save 2 mana, because you can transfer it for only 1 to another creature if the creature dies. So yeah, Joint Strength is a super valuable spell, and you should, if your Joint Strength creature is in danger of dying, then you should probably try to really get another animal in the Beastmaster zone going, because you can only transfer it to where the Beastmaster is. So there has to be another animal in the Beastmaster zone. And both Dorsius and the pet Falcon are very good targets for Joint Strengths, as is the Croc, of course. So we see Leather from Red Dice last round, and another enchant on the Falcon, so he only spent 4 mana that I can see. I don't know what the enchant on the Falcon is. That means he saves up mana and probably wants to get another creature going, and he does. Here is Isimbilla, the better Timberwolf, basically. More offensive Timberwolf. I think the plan for Isimbilla is to try and kill my Dorsius. This is also why I did put Rhinohide on my Dors. Because both the Bear and Isimbilla and also the Falcon could get Lion Savagery, this one. Also gain piercing, so when your opponent has a lot of piercing around, then it's usually a good deal to get some extra armor on your Dorsius going. Otherwise you're probably more in the route of Gator Toughness or Brace Yourself. Brace Yourself is also armor, but if your opponent has constant armor penetration via piercing going, it's also usually a better deal to have constant extra armor via the Rhinohide going. And here I you see us passing a lot, because Red Dice also sees that this match is very creature centered, and if you lose one creature without paying too much attention, and this is also why we're holding our quick cast to still do something and react. If you lose a creature without your opponent investing too much into it, you're in a bad position. So this turn for me is a Dissolve. I just want to give myself the option to lay down some pressure on the mage. And Red Dice on the other hand gets a cool card out that I maybe should think about including myself here, because it's actually really good. It's Faith Healer Staff. It gives you an extra attack die basically, so it's half a Bear Strength, which is arguably worth 2 mana already. Because this says here, it has 3 dice, but if your mage is level 5 or greater, arena mages are level 6, then you have 4, and you have base 4, but you have the melee skill, so this is actually 5 then. But you have the option to gain some passive healing going, so if you want to spend mana, that's good. And usually my book is not really mana starved, but rather action starved, so the Faith Healer Staff is a really good one. Yeah, and now here I want to give myself the option to maybe throw an attack spell and slide in with the Falcon to go for the Isimbilla. And this is why Red Dice does the teleport on the Steel Claw. I kind of expected him to defend this zone, so I'm not trying too hard actually to kill something this round, because I expected to not get a kill through here. But here I'm doing a little trick that I enjoy doing. I see him having 3 creatures out and I have 2, but if I summon another one, then he will we will both have 3 creatures, and it's his initiative next turn, and if we have the same amount of creatures out and it's his initiative, then he has to act first, and that means obviously that I get to act last. And if you get to act last off initiative, then you can act in your initiative yet again. That gives you a sweet action window, and this is why I really wanted to get a creature going this turn. And I also, sorry if you hear this, but I use my knowledge about red a little, and with this move here, I know that he really does not like the bees, and he wants to get rid of them very quickly. So I suspect him here to use the spray barbs next round, and this is perfectly fine with me. I just want to get rid of his actions, so I can do something cool and chain my actions together. And what I also do here is that I get a hidden enchantment going, which is a rust, and I have a lot of mana. So if he's not careful here, I could, for example, just prepare a thorn push right now. So if he does not kill the bees, then I could just go prep an attack spell and try to kill his falcon with bees, pop a dodge, for example, because they have multiple attacks and just the first one pops the dodge and the other attacks go through. Then I go with the falcon, I go an attack spell, falcon dead. Mission achieved. Good round for me. And all that I ever need to invest is him not using the quick cast for spray barbs, and I am investing a spray barbs or something myself, and I am getting rid of double enchant falcon. So this is something he does not want to do. Then the other thing he needs to do here is get armor out or something defensive. Probably do it like this. But if he gets just plain armor out, like armor 2, I can reveal the rust and thorn push him with my last action, thorn push him again, that's 20 damage. This is something he does not want to do either. So it's a tricky position for him to be in, because I could just swap targets for the Isimbilla. If he does not kill the bees, I could like Chain of Rage his falcon and go after his mage, do whatever. So the bees just hinder him. So if he does not deal with the bees, I can take advantage of it, and the plan is, if he does take care of the bees, I can take advantage of this too, because he has to respect the thorn push here. Or he really should, otherwise I am getting a lot of damage on him. So I kind of expected it, so the spray barbs go out, and I'm not too sure on the percentages, but it's around 11% that you deal 0 damage with your spray barbs onto the bees, and I think it's around 30% or something that you only deal 1 damage. He gets a kill, which is fine, I don't mind. It was about to be expected. I kind of baited this. And with the other action, you see Eagle Claw Boots, so he does respect the Thorn Push. It's very good for him, because if it was plain armor, he would have posed himself to a lot of danger. So now it's probably finally time to reveal what I was trying to do this round. I am planning on switching targets onto his mage, because I have now 2 curses out and I have the last action of initiative, so I just want to push my luck, but I didn't want to use this thorn push here, because I was thinking that it might have been telegraphed too easily. So first of all, I get a hit on his falcon, he gets a big hit back. A little bit unfortunate, but not the end of the world. I have the doors. So, but what I want to do here is either kill the falcon, depending on which enchantments here is. So I have an attack spell. No, this is the attack spell. And maybe lay down some damage on the Beastmaster and also protect my guys. So this is what I chose to do, spray barbs and pillar. And here I'm trying to go for the kill. Or at least I make it look like I'm trying to go for the kill. Because what's good here with the spray barbs, I'm ignoring the armor and the joint strength. At the end of the day, is only a damage transfer. It's not healing, but it's also on the Beastmaster, so I'm like making it look like I'm going for the falcon, but at the same time I'm sticking some damage on the Beastmaster. So this allows me to basically exploit, or take advantage is probably the better term, to take advantage of whichever decision that my opponent will do in his next turn. because if he just gets some defense going onto his mage, then I will try to kill the falcon and possibly Isabella or something, and then it's his bear versus my two creatures. If he tries to save the falcon instead, then I'm not really sure how it works out, but I at least gave myself the option to just go for the Beastmaster instead, because right here he has -2 armor and small regeneration and 2 curses, while I have a Hawkeye that I have not shown here. So I have 1 offensive buff for myself. My opponent has 2 curses, pillar in his face, and low armor, as low as it can get actually, and small regen. So regrowth would be more problematic for me, and I think it's the 3rd time in a row that he rolled a 2 for healing. Maybe only the 2nd, but I think it was 3 times in a row, which I'm not complaining about, I'm just pointing it out. All fine. So far the heals have been good for him, and my 2 pillow procs have been one below and 1 above average. By the way, we're playing with the playtest pillow rules in this game. If you ask yourself what the hell is going on, this is where the pillar starts. I don't have the correct art, I apologize, I probably should. This one that we're testing currently is that you give the pillar 4 dissipate tokens, and you have to remove 1 token whenever you do an attack, nothing else changes. And you get to choose if something moves into the zone, whether you want to attack it or no. So my first 2 attacks were 1 below and 1 above average. So far so good. What this does to the pillar is basically it neglects it to do like pillar force wave shenanigans, or the abuse where you double pull people or push teleport people in twice per round and get basically 3 attacks off with the pillar versus the same target in 1 turn, 3 turns in a row. So you cast it and then you get 1 hit in upkeep, and then you push and you teleport, and that's 3 hits, and then you get another hit in upkeep and you push and you teleport and you get 3 hits again. So you're limiting the total amount of dice that this pillar can out to 4 times 4 or 4 times 6 versus non-living, because he has the +2 versus non-living. So yeah, you see red protecting the falcon, and I'm doing the same because I really do not want to lose my falcon here. And if he has another big falcon hit like he did last round, and an attack spell, this is pretty dead for my falcon, and I just don't want to lose him here. So I got the dodge going, and I have another spray barbs. As I said previously, I will either just shoot the bird or shoot the Beastmaster. I have not 100% decided where to use it at this point. And here we see red trying to get out of the pillar zone and attack the doors, which I have to point out here is that this made me very happy. I think this might have been a mistake. On the small side bonus from the pillar that you don't want to stay in the pillar zone for too long. I think he wants to move out with this guys and maybe even guard. So now we're thinking, but this allows me, you will probably see it in a second, yes, to step on with the doors and just hit the mage. Nice. So still I leave myself the option to go for the mage if he like tries to do something or protect something, and just barbs it with the mage and hit it with the falcon. And if he moves out, I can just barbs the. Then if he moves out or Isabella moves out, then there's no legal animal in his zone for the joint strength to transfer to, and then I would just barbs and kill the bird. Then he loses his pet and 1 joint strength. So now I see that my horse is pretty likely to survive, and Falcon goes in and strikes. I get big damage here. Lucky me. So wow, he's already at 27 spray barbs right after. Beastmaster is at, don't remember, 100%. Beastmaster is at 31. 31, and he moves and casts something. Guess 32. Gets the regrowth belt going. And yeah, this is more. I think I speed this up again. This is how bad things can get when I have 4 dice here, 6 dice here, some from the mage, some from the pillar. If you're at low armor, you need to get guards or chat of rages going, so you should not give your opponent the option to somehow deal so many dice to your mage. Like, I'm not saying it was bad what he did here, just I think he pointed out to probably leaving the guards up a bit longer would be more helpful than not dying. The pillar does not get a huge hit target here, it just pops a dodge of this Impala, which is fine, like it does something. I sometimes like to not hardcore invest into the pillar and just let it do whatever. Will work out in the end. It's good already. Sometimes your opponents really hardcore try to really limit the damage potential of the pillar. So yeah, here I have an enchant on the Beastmaster, which is what I said in the previous games already. That is, your opponent plays regen, take advantage of the regen. I have a unholy reversal here, so I want to deal more damage. I was thinking about moving out, so I can limit the dice of the Gris by 1 and the Falcon also by 1, because the Falcon gets 1 bonus in the same zone, and the Grizzly gets 2 if he can stand still. But if I move out, then Red can just double move down here and is out of range. Same if I move 1 to the left or 1 down, then he can just move 3 out of range, and I'm sad. So this is why I teleport him here up into the pillar, take the hit, because I can take it and hit it with the Razor Beak from my Falcon pet yet again. He's going to 32 right here, and is done with actions because he thinks he cannot afford this other Magebane damage. So Magebane very clutch for me in this game. I think it dealt around 10 damage, not too sure. We are in round 10, 9 or 10 I believe, and I casted the Magebane in turn 3. Should be turn 3, so this is probably around 12, 14 points of damage, so thank you Magebane for your help. Here you see the miss on the Faith Healer staff, and luckily for me, because if that would have rolled anything, I would have been forced to reveal the Unholy Reversal, but since this heal whiffed, I can block the Regrowth Belt, and this puts him to 35, my initiative, and Magebane on him, so that's pretty much impossible to win. Because he would have to dodge the Hurl Boulder here, a Dice Boulder, and yeah, no chance. GG, Battle of the Awful Beastmasters. Said and done. Thank you for the match. It was very interesting, and I think I've learned some things out of this match. I should tweak this book a little bit more. Quite happy with how it turned out, and See you all in the next one. Thank you for watching. Julie out. Stay hydrated.